Hey guys, Louie here. I just wanted to give you guys a quick apology for misinforming you guys on the GPS information. I'm not sure what's been going on with my cameras lately, but I have two Insta360 Ace Pro and this Insta360 GPS preview remote, and for some reason both cameras are reacting the same way, where the GPS information on the gauge for the miles per hour gets stuck. It either gets stuck at 0 or it gets stuck at a higher number. So I wanted to just apologize to you guys for not giving you appropriate information. I know how important it is to find out how fast I was actually going under GPS for the range test. So I'm going to go with the roughly estimation of 16 miles per hour as the main mileage with this information that I got here. And again, I do apologize. You guys are going to be seeing a couple of clips where I'm going to be at a complete stop and the stupid miles per hour gauge is going to say 16. So again, I apologize for that. I'm not sure what the hell is going on with this, but I've already contacted Insta360 and I got the runaround about this. So most likely I'm just going to have to replace this puck because this is what's providing me with the information for GPS with these cameras. So neither of them are working the way they should. So I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know. With that said though, let's go ahead and roll the intro so we can get started with this awesome video. Hello everyone, how's it going? I am Louie the Average Guy 1983. Thank you so much in advance for joining me on this video today. Today I'm going to be doing a range test video on this Emove Cruiser V2 all-wheel drive, which is the 60 volt 30 amp hour model with the dual 1000 watt motors. And there's a couple things that I'm nervous about when it comes to doing this range test. Number one, in gear 1, the scooter tops out at 17 miles an hour for me. In the P settings, I can actually change the percentage from 40 to like maybe 43 or 45 and get 20 miles an hour or increase it a little bit more. The reason why I'm not going to do that is because number one, this is a loaner scooter, so I do not get to keep the scooter. The scooter has to be returned by the end of February back to Vora Motors in Panorama City, and this is going to be the display model as well as the test ride model for anybody that comes into the Panorama City store and wants to test out the Emove Cruiser V2 before buying. So it would be misleading if I was to change the P settings to like 45% or even 48% to try to get more miles per hour out of gear 1. Just to feel a little bit safer on the road. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be taking the bike paths as much as possible. So the route is going to change slightly, but we're going to see how it does. We do have the tires inflated to 40 psi for the front and the rear. The scooter really is at 100% battery life, and we're going to stay in gear 1 the entire time. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and take off. Alrighty my friends, so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be remaining in dual motor mode, and we are topping out at what looks like 17 miles an hour. I'm not going to be using the turn signals on this scooter because the turn signals, in no honesty, are very useless. The main reason why is because you can't really see the turn signals in the daytime, and that's a really big problem. I'm not sure why they're not that bright during the day, but you can't really see them, and at night the turn signals blend in with the brake lights, and that's a big problem. Alright, so we are in a cap of 17 miles an hour, and it still feels pretty dangerous to me riding this slow, but you know, this is typical speeds for electric scooters. You don't have to worry about, you know, having fear of getting pulled over by law enforcement for going too fast on the bike lane, etc. So this isn't bad. I think this is okay. But we are going to be taking the bike route here. We're not going to be crazy and doing the normal route that I usually do at this speed. Alrighty my friends, so we've made it to South Pasadena on Fremont Avenue and Mission Road or Mission Street. So I'm going to continue to take this bike path all the way straight up to a more residential area. The scooter does cap out at 17 miles an hour from what I can see on this display, and we got about 2.1 miles in on the trip information so far. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here so that You guys can actually see how this does once we reach Alhambra, and I'll give you guys the range there as well as the battery percentage. But so far we have what looks like 95% on the display, so we're gonna see how this does and go from there. But when it comes to the acceleration of the scooter, the front and rear motors are set to number 2 out of 5 in gear 1, and in gear 2 is set to 3 in the front and the rear, and in gear 3 is set to 5 in the front and the rear. So if you don't like that spinning out of control acceleration that I had demonstrated when I did my first impressions video on this thing, you can lower it down to 3, because I dropped it down to 4 just as a test, and it still had issues with it spinning out of control. So I think the best thing to do is to drop it down to 3 so that it still gets good power for the front motor without it skidding out of control, but leave the rear motor at 5. So this way you still get good acceleration without, you know, again, the wheels spinning out of control and having a jerky acceleration. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are on Main Street and Vega Street here in Alhambra. We are almost reaching the San Gabriel Valley point of entrance, and I just wanted to let you guys know that on the acceleration, the scooter seems to be doing pretty good. Even on the slight little inclines I was in, it only reduced by like 1 mile, so from 17 down to 16 miles an hour on gear 1. And gear 1 does have the acceleration set to 2 out of 5. Gear 2 has the acceleration set to 3, and then gear 3 has the acceleration set to 5. So if you don't like that spinning out of control sensation of the front motor, you can always drop it down to 3, because I tested it out on 4, and even 4 causes the motor to skid out of control. But acceleration number 3 just feels perfect, man, on this scooter. Oh man, oh my god, guys, we made it to San Gabriel Boulevard and Las Tunas in San Gabriel without me getting hit by a car. Oh my freaking god, dude. I had so many close calls. It's so freaking ridiculous, man. Why do people in this area of San Gabriel do not know how to drive, man? Like, who gives these people their licenses and be like, sure, you look like you're safe to have a license, here you go, I'll sign you off. This guy is really close to the sidewalk. Look, if you see that, look, rear tire. Look at this. This is exactly why I moved to the sidewalk. Like, screw that. I'd rather ride on the sidewalk, but it's illegal. It's illegal to ride on the sidewalk. But in this area, not even the bike lane is safe. Neither is it in Highland Park, obviously. Alright, man, so talking about the battery, right now it's at 95%, but since I've been sitting here for a little bit, it's now creeping up to 97%. And we got 7.4 miles in on the trip information in gear 1, and we're doing pretty good right now so far. I still have all green bars on the scooter, so we're officially finally getting into a bike lane, which I'm happy about it. Though even in this area, like Highland Park, I'm not necessarily safe here, but as long as I stay as close as I can towards the center of the bike lane, I should be okay. Meaning, don't go towards the left side, stay towards the right, even if you're on the bike lane, you know, for safety concerns for yourself. Alrighty, my friends, so we are actually right at the edge of Rosemead Boulevard and Las Tunas Drive. I actually still have all 5 green bars on here, as well as what looks like 92% battery life. So we're gonna keep going on this thing and see how it does. I'm thinking that because we're riding at 17 miles an hour, that is one of the reasons why we're able to get this kind of range so far on this scooter. But we are in dual motor mode, and we do have the acceleration in gear 1 set to the stock number 2 setting. Alrighty, my friends, so we've made it to Temple City. We are in Alessandro Avenue and Las Tunas Drive. 92% battery life based on the voltage sag information. We still have 5 bars on this scooter, and we have 8.8 miles in. So far, this thing is one hell of a scooter for it to be at this voltage. So we'll know for sure though, like, how many miles we can get out of this thing, because I am going to drain it down to basically 0% battery life. So I'm going to cut the video here, and I'm going to keep going a little bit further down, and we'll go ahead and catch up with you guys in a bit. Alrighty, my friends, so we are in Arcadia on Tyler Avenue and Live Oak. So Las Tunas Drive has now switched over to Live Oak, and we are in cruise control. You can see right now that I'm still going, and my hand or my thumb is not on the actual throttle there. It's just on the handlebar. It's pretty easy to set up. You go under the P settings and you select A8, and then you push the M button to access the number, and you go from 0, which is off, to 1, which is on. Then push the M button again and it'll save it, and then double click the M button, and then it'll exit you out from the P settings, and you're good to go. And to basically engage the cruise control, you do have to have a steady speed. So if you want to be at 25 miles an hour, you got to keep it at 25, you know, with your thumb throttle, as stable as possible for 5 to 10 seconds, and then the logo that normally shows the gear 1, 2, or 3 will start flashing an H, and that will let you know that the cruise control was successfully engaged, and then you can let go of the thumb throttle. In this case, because I have it at 17 miles an hour, and that's where it's capped at, I was able to easily just max out the speed, and then the H kicked in, and then I was able to let go of the thumb throttle, and now I'm just right here cruising it. So we're doing really good so far. We got 11.7 miles in, 89% battery life from what it shows here on the display. That's with voltage sag as well. Obviously it might go up a little bit, but we are right now at 16 miles an hour, mainly because we're going up a slight little incline, but it should be creeping up to 17 pretty soon, and now that we're in a flat surface road. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video here, and I'll catch up to you guys in just a bit, and we'll see how this thing continues to do, because we still have to make it back home. Alright guys, I'm updating you guys right now. Dudes, I am literally in the city of Irwindale. Irwindale, guys. This right here that you can see with this blue tarp, it's the Irwindale Speedway. And I got about 13.4 miles in from what it says on the trip information. We got 84% battery life with still like all 5 green bars. The speed did reduce by 1 mile, so now we're at 16 miles an hour. It's no longer at 17, but we do have the cruise control on. So I'm not sure if that's why it's doing that. But either way, man, this is amazing. This right here is or was the Irwindale Speedway right here. So that is amazing to be seeing that we're able to get this far and still have a lot of battery life left over. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep going here, because obviously this is a range test video, so this is what it's all about. And I'll give you guys an update once I drop down to maybe like 70% battery life, and then try to make it you know, back and give you guys some information on the scooter to see how it's doing. But right now it's doing freaking fantastic. Alrighty, my friends, so we made it to Arrow Highway and Cerritos Avenue, and we are apparently in the Canyon City. At least that's what it says on the sign, right below the street name. We got 71% battery, so that 86% battery resting mode, I guess it wasn't realistically real, but what we have right now it's creeping up to 72%. I guess that's more realistic. But we are riding at 16 miles an hour, and we are using cruise control, and we have 18.8 miles in on this ride, and the goal here is to try to get as close as I can to like the Covina city limits, and then turn around and start making my way back home, because I have a feeling that this Cruiser V2 is going to have plenty of range left over, even after I get back to Highland Park. And the goal here is to try to drop it to like maybe 10%, give or take. If I can take it a little bit lower once I'm around the city of Highland Park, I'll definitely do that to give you guys more of a realistic range. But so far this thing is doing great. It already surpassed my Segway GT1 in performance when it comes to acceleration because of the dual motors, and I could already see this surpassing my GT1 again in range, even though the GT1 does 24 miles an hour in gear 1, which is technically considered eco mode. But for little speed tests like these or range tests like these, oh, that was pretty firm. It is better to land yourself on the sidewalk and push the little button here for the street, because since you're riding at such a low speed, basically like bicyclist speed, it's better to stay out of the way of cars as much as possible. It seems like people in this area drive a little bit more relaxed than the ones in Alhambra and like Temple City area, which is still really close to like the Alhambra and San Gabriel Valley area anyways. But it's still a little scary, you know, to be riding in the street, especially when you have car doors like these, you know, cars on the edges. You don't know who's in their car, so you kind of have to keep an eye on who's in their car and who isn't, and if they're about to open their door. So you have to be very vigilant when you're riding these things, and keep an eye on the edges of the doors to see if you see anybody slightly opening up their stuff. And as soon as you have some space, check it out. Get as close as you can to the right side. This is only if you're riding at this speed, you know. There's a lot of people that are going to be very happy with the scooter riding at this speed and getting a ton of range. But there are other people like myself that feel a lot more comfortable riding with the flow of traffic, 35 to 40 miles an hour, give or take, and still getting decent range. So in the next coming videos, we'll see how it does in gear 2, coming in the same direction, and then gear 3 coming in the same direction, and see how it goes. But alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here so that we can continue going and focus on the road. And then I'll get back to you guys once I get close to like the Covina area, because right now it seems like the battery voltage or percentage has now dropped down to 70%. So we definitely want to try to start heading back very soon. Alright guys, catch you guys in a bit. Alrighty my friends, so we have made it to Arrow Highway and Barranca Avenue in literally the city of Glendora. So we are in Glendora. We got 73% battery life here resting so far. I got to see it as low as 70% battery life. We got 19.6 miles in gear 1, and we are using cruise control. The speed is limited to 16 miles an hour now that the voltage has dropped down a bit more. So once it reaches that 16 to 17 miles per hour, the scooter does get capped. Oh god, this is so dangerous. I do wish I had a mirror installed in this damn thing. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video here. We're gonna see just how much further down we can go, and then start making our way up. Maybe drop it down to like maybe 65%, and then start turning around. Actually, last time that's what I did with one of the scooters, and I turned around right around at this point when we've reached the city of Covina limits, which I recognize this. There was a Wiener Schnitzel right over there, and I forgot what scooter I took with me, but I think it was a GT1 that I was trying to do a range test on, and I sure failed taking it 2 down, because it basically died on me about 3 miles away from my house, and that was a pretty heavy scooter at about 115 pounds. This one here weighs about either 88 or 92 pounds, one of those two, but it's a much lighter frame. But I have heard concerns from people regarding wanting to have foldable handlebars to be able to load into a car much easier. And yeah, man, it totally makes sense to have that. When I return this scooter back to Melvin, I am going to be talking to him about that, because there's been several people on the channel that are not subscribers, they're just viewers, but they've been asking about this being a thing, and I agree with them. If you want the scooter to be more compact, it does need to have foldable handlebars, and I'm thinking maybe something like the handlebars that are on the Roadrunner V3 would be nice to have here on this Cruiser V2. Maybe even as an option, like it doesn't have to be included, but if you can buy it separately, I'm pretty sure many people would do that and just do a direct swap, because nothing here is like internally attached into the inside of the bars. Everything's outside. Everything is mounted on the outside of the bar, so it should be able to be easily replaceable. Okay, now it says 66% battery life on this scooter with 20.3 miles in. So at the next light, we're gonna start turning around just to play it safe. Now, if it wasn't for drivers of cars driving stupid and following the rules of the road, then this would be a really comfortable and relaxing ride, you know, doing these range test videos. But right now, guys, I'm sincerely afraid of getting hit by a car at this speed, mainly because a lot of the cars are not careful. They're on their cell phones, they don't pay attention, and a lot of people that drive cars really dislike us people, those who ride scooters like us, e-bikes, and even the regular pedal bikes. Like, they hate the dudes in spandex as well. So we're not the only ones getting discriminated by car drivers. And the crappy part is that I drive a car too. I have a Class C license and I drive a car, and I have a lot of respect for people that are on the side of the road here, like scooter riders and e-bike riders, bicyclists, skateboarders, one-wheelers, unicyclers, all of that stuff. So right here on Glendora Avenue, so we did indeed make it to Glendora, but we're going to be turning around here. Glendora and Aero Highway, we're going to turn back, because we are, it says 67 now that I let go of the throttle, but it was telling me like 63%, give or take. So here we go. We made it all the way to Glendora, which is far surpassing Las Tunas Drive and Rosemead Boulevard in San Gabriel Valley. We're way down, almost reaching Covina. So we have it again, and cruise control enabled. So now I'm just gliding with the handlebar. Alrighty, my friends, so now that we turned around, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the clip here and focus on the road. And again, we made it all the way down to Glendora. So now we're gonna go back up to Highland Park and see how the scooter does on the way back up. And I'll update you guys when we pass every city, give or take, just so you guys know that I actually made it to that point, that I didn't take a bus or anything like that. We straight up rode this thing all the way down here to Glendora, which that wasn't my original intention, but seeing that it had more battery life, I was like, sure, let's go ahead and try it out. That is the whole point of doing range test videos. All right, guys, catch you guys in just a bit. Alrighty, my friends, so we have made it back to the city of Irwindale. Right now we got 56% battery life. We are at 3 bars out of 5 on the battery icon, and we got 27.2 miles in on this ride so far on the trip information, and we're still riding between 15 to 16 miles per hour, give or take, on the miles per hour with the cruise control engaged. So I'm trying to be as careful as I possibly can, because this is an area where there's a lot of road construction and there's a lot of road debris on the floor here, and I was originally trying to get on the sidewalk thinking it would be safer to ride at a slower speed, but the sidewalk is full of a bunch of granulated like sand, and that's exactly the kind of debris that caused me to fall off of my 9-Belt Max G2 when I first had my accident without any safety gear, and I don't feel like experiencing another fall and damaging the scooter. So I'm going to continue to ride on the street here, even though it says 45 miles per hour speed limit. So I'm riding as far as I can to the right side, and we're going to keep going. So it does say right here, welcome to Irwindale, and where all this blue tarp stuff is at, that was literally the racetrack. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the clip here, and I'll see you guys once we reach Las Tunas Drive and Rosemead Boulevard in San Gabriel Valley, and give you guys another update. Alrighty, my friends, so we have officially made it to the San Gabriel Valley city limits here on Rosemead Boulevard in Las Tunas Drive. We are going to continue going up till we get to Lake Alhambra, and I'll recheck up with you guys again. Right now we are at 46% battery life. We got 32.9 miles in on this ride, again in gear 1. The speed limit is still like fluctuating between 15 and 16 miles per hour, give or take. I've seen it go as low as 14 when we start going up a slight little incline. So that's just something to mention, but it's doing pretty good. I have no fear of not being able to make it home, especially with 46% battery life and being about 8.5 miles or so away from my house. So it's not that big of a deal. Even though it says Temple City Plaza over there, is technically already Rosemead Boulevard and Las Tunas Drive, which is this is always a peak point for me for doing range test videos. But yeah, not bad for what it is. And again, I get to put this thing in cruise control, and like you see right now, look, I'm not touching the thumb throttle and the scooter is still going. So this is a nice touch for the Cruiser V2. Now again, man, I don't feel comfortable riding at 15 miles an hour. I would feel a whole lot better riding at about 20, maybe 25 miles an hour as a minimum, especially in the bike lane. But this is a range test video for the Cruiser V2, and this is on the stock settings, and a lot of people are not going to want to mess with their settings at all. So this is just how you know what your scooter is going to be able to do for you if you actually purchase one. So as of right now, I do recommend the Cruiser V2 all-wheel drive, which is the 60 volt 30 amp hour scooter, because it has obviously a whole lot more range. I got more range than what I was expecting to get, way more range than the Roadrunner Pro, even way more range than the Roadrunner V3. So, and again, this is, I know, going a little bit slow, you know, 15 to 17 miles an hour, give or take, you know, but again, there are a lot of people out there that are not going to be okay going faster than like 25 or 30 miles an hour, and this is a great scooter for that, especially seeing that it caters to short and tall riders by having a very firm adjustable handlebar. And the only concerns I have heard from many people, and I do agree with them on this, is not having foldable handlebars on this Cruiser V2, because it's going to be a lot more harder to load into a trunk of a car having this long handlebar. So it'd be nice to be able to have something like that, you know, that's on the V3 from Roadrunner, that folds from the edges, so you can be able to simply slide it into your trunk or on a lift car, because those are usually smaller, like Corollas or a Prius type thing. So yeah, I totally get that, and I agree. I would love to have like a really good secured foldable handlebar like on the Roadrunner V3 on this scooter. So when I'm fully done reviewing this model and doing the next 2 range tests and the who is this for scooter video, I'm gonna make sure to talk to Melvin and bring up all of the concerns you guys have, because that is one of the reasons why I'm reviewing scooters. It's not just to ride them or get them for free. In my case, I only get to borrow them because that's the agreement that I have with Voro Motors. I get to borrow them for about a month, and I put it through its paces and stuff, and I give you guys the honest opinion. And obviously, like every scooter company or dealer, they're all going to want you to help promote the product so that they can sell. So that is part of the whole being a content creator thing. So, you know, that's just something that I'm also doing, especially if the scooter runs and works good. But this right here far exceeds the GoTrex GX3 for sure, and it even beats the crap out of my Segway GT1 in range, period. But yeah, man, this is pretty amazing so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video here. I'm gonna keep going because, again, I'm entering danger level or danger territory. So I gotta look out for a lot of these drivers here to make sure that they don't strike me, and especially being on the bike lane. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But alright guys, I will go ahead and cut the video here, and we'll click back in when we reach Alhambra. Alrighty my friends, so we have made it to the Alhambra area. We're almost on Garfield Avenue and Main Street, and I got 36% battery life on this thing. We've been kind of stuck at 14 to 15 miles an hour since the battery percentage went down, but we are at exactly 36 miles in on the trip information. We are still in dual motor mode, and we have been remaining in gear 1, going apparently up to 17 miles an hour. Personally speaking, I'm definitely not happy with the cap and the speed limit, and if this was my scooter, I would definitely raise it to at least 22 to 25 miles an hour for gear 1, because I feel that this slow speed is very dangerous for the road, and not safe at all if there is no bike lane like what I'm experiencing right now, because a lot of people in this area ride very dangerous. They're not aware of their surroundings, and they're just not paying attention. So I'm going to cut the video clip right here, and I'm going to update you guys once I reach the Pasadena city limits, and then I'll give you guys another update, and we'll keep going. Alrighty guys. Alrighty my friends, so we have officially made it to the city of South Pasadena, and we are at 26% battery life. We're doing 14 miles an hour right now because that's where we're capped at. We are in dual motor mode, and we have 39.8 miles of distant riding so far on the trip information, which is incredible. Look, even that guy in his bicycle is going faster than me. So not that this thing cannot go faster, because it can, but you would have to change your settings in the P settings in order to be able to adjust the speed to something more usable. Like I mentioned before, I'm pretty happy having this at about 22 to 25 miles an hour in gear 1 instead of being capped at 17. But because this is a loaner scooter, and this is going to be the official scooter for Voro Motors to be doing test rides on it for people that actually want to purchase the unit, you know, this is going to be the go-to scooter for that once I return it and I give my feedback back to Melvin, the owner of Voro Motors. So yeah guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here, and I'm going to update you guys once I get down to about 10% battery life, and then we'll call it. But again, right now we are now at 40.1 miles in on the trip information, so this should be pretty exciting to see how much more range I can get here. Alright guys, talk to you guys soon. Alrighty my friends, so I had to switch on over to my smartphone so I can talk to you guys real quick. This is the end of the scooter's life for the battery. I've been out and about since 9 a.m. all the way to 1:47 p.m. Riding this thing. So in total we got a whopping 45.5 miles of range in gear 1 with dual motors, and we got it to the 5% mark. Now the 5% mark is it's not going to move anymore. The scooter just stopped. So I'm glad that the display is still on to at least show us that range, but that's incredible to be doing 45.5 miles of range on this scooter with 60 volts 30 amp hours, considering the weight of the scooter and my weight of 292 pounds with gear. So incredible, man, very incredible. So what I'm gonna do from here, I'm only 4 blocks away from my house, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the scooter, walk it back to my house. Thank God I'm literally just 4 blocks away. So I'm gonna walk it, and then I'm gonna go downstairs and talk to you guys about the overall riding experience, and yeah, give you guys my actual thoughts on riding this thing in gear 1. So yeah, let's go ahead and cut to that clip now. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and we're in the basement right now. The scooter's charging upstairs so we can get it ready for the next range test in gear 2. But for now, I want to focus on the overall experience with the scooter and give you guys my honest opinion on how the scooter felt riding it in gear 1 and everything. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. The ride quality was pretty good. The hybrid tires did really well. They did not skid out of control, obviously, and even going through loose gravel, it did pretty decent. I was a little afraid of riding it through loose gravel, especially because I got injured before on my 9 Max G2. My fault for not wearing safety gear that day, even though I actually had some. But they did really good being hybrid tires, so good job on that. And they do have that self-healing glue on the inside of the tire, so you don't have to worry too much about getting a flat, as long as it's right within the area that has the self-healing glue. There's a part of the tire that does not have any self-healing glue, so if you hit that part with a nail, the tire is not going to help you with the glue issue. So you're gonna have to figure out how to replace it, or basically try to add a plug to it and kind of solve that little issue for yourself. The range that I got was incredible. 45.5 miles of range. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys about my weight. I weigh 282 pounds without the safety gear, and with safety gear I weigh 292 pounds, and that is because I carry a full face helmet, and I attach this camera as well as this thing with the pit zoom mirror arm, and then I have the safety gear on, which is basically the arm padding stuff that I have here, and the knee pads, as well as the backpack that carries a bunch of tools. Basically, I carry these tools here. Some of the tools you see here, I carry inside of the backpack to make sure that I'm able to repair the scooter if it's needed. So that is why I always give you guys the maximum rider weight with the safety gear on, and I always say 292 pounds with gear on. That's what I'm talking about. So super impressive overall with the scooter. I'm not the kind of person that would ride, you know, a scooter between 15 to 17 miles an hour, but that's where it was. When we were at 100% battery life, the scooter was apparently going 17 miles an hour. When it reduced from 100 down to 80%, it went down to 16 miles an hour. And when it went from 80% down to 60%, it went down to 15 miles an hour. And after that, as the battery started going lower, the scooter was fluctuating between 14 to 15 miles an hour on the actual display, not on the GPS. So I'm not really sure which one was accurate, since I was having issues with this thing to begin with within the video. However, it did really good. And one thing that I noticed that it did not lose was the acceleration. The acceleration was there the whole time. The 0 to like max speed takeoff was very quick and very smooth. And not once did I feel it actually lose any acceleration power. Only the maximum amount of like miles per hour was what it was actually losing as the battery started going down in power. So that was really impressive, man. Now, when it comes to the shocks, there can be some improvement. The shocks are not that great. It could just be because I'm a heavier rider, but I did feel it bottom out several times under certain areas, like the harsh terrains I was going through. As you guys were able to see on the street, not all the streets were perfectly even. Some of them had some cracks on the road, and when I would go over the cracks on the road, you could feel those bumps and maybe even hear it. So the shocks would bottom out quite quickly, but they're very short shocks. So I think if you buy yourself one, it would probably be a good idea to upgrade your shocks to hydraulic spring shocks, like what I have on the RS, but a smaller size that actually fits the Cruiser V2 for the front and rear, and you'll probably have a really nice scooter. When it comes to the shocks at that same $2,000 pricing, the GoTrex GX3 wins on that department, but everything else, I have to give it to the Cruiser V2 because it's a 60 volt 30 amp hour battery. The scooter only weighs between 88 to 92 pounds, and the reason why I say that is because under Voro Motors it says 88 pounds, but when I weighed it on my scale it said 92 pounds, so I'm not sure which one is accurate. Either way, it has like I mentioned before, dual 25 amp hour sine wave controllers. So it had not too much power, but it also wasn't demanding a lot of power out of the battery, and that's one of the reasons why I feel that it gave a lot of range. I'm not sure how it's going to do in gear 2 going up to 28 miles an hour, but obviously we're going to see on the next video. So other than that, it did really good. And again, we were in dual motor mode the whole time. I don't recommend using single motor. I think, you know, if you're going to buy yourself a dual motor scooter, stick with dual motors, because even if you're a slimmer person, the scooter being in single motor mode, it's going to cause the rear motor or front motor to degrade faster than having both motors combined sharing the power load. So I think that's really important, and you do not save more battery having a single motor over dual motor. You end up actually wasting more. So a lot of people have had many arguments over that, and I'm pretty sure somebody's going to come out in the comments telling me that I'm being, you know, dishonest. It is what it is, and that's how they want to take it, but I repair scooters, so I definitely know what I'm talking about. With that said though, if you are satisfied with this video and you don't feel like you need to watch the other ones that are going to be coming up, consider using my discount code TAG19350 off to help support the channel. It's not realistically about the money that gets made off of the sales. It's the credibility that I get to get with Melvin to be able to borrow scooters and keep them for about a month and be able to review them to continue to pump out content on the channel. For me, that's the most important thing, because I'm able to be 100% honest, because I don't own the scooter. The only bad thing about not owning the scooter and having to return it within a month is that I won't be able to assist you guys if you guys need help repairing it. For example, changing out the brakes, the rotors, changing out the motors, changing out the tires, giving a 500-mile review, etc. Things like that. Or having to replace a sine wave controller if it breaks. That's the only thing I'm not going to be able to do, having to return the scooter within a month. Why? Because the scooter is not going to have that much time to actually even break down, if it actually does. So that's just something to keep into account. With that said though, this is going to be the ending of my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys very much. And if you have any questions about the Cruiser V2, please feel free to comment below, and I'll be sure to answer your questions to the best of my ability. So, see you guys in the next video. Peace.